Aprille Walker from the Yoga Ranger Studio, and today's Yin AM class, around 30-minute class is what the Yin AM classes are for, is all about the side body. So we're going to focus on this whole side body section, the obliques, lateral side of the body, IT band, legs. And the reason I want to focus on this is that a lot of things that we do in our lives do not look at these areas, and they're what we call a use it or lose it muscle group. So how many times during the day do you reach up and stretch the side body unless you're really thinking about it or exercising or doing yoga or at the gym? Rarely do we use those muscles. And these are really important to keep the side body engaged. The side body for the core protects the lower back and helps it engage and stay safe. The space around the side body up here helps you take a deeper breath, helps you breathe a little bit more freely. Open that space, expand those lungs. So side body, super important on the upper body. And for the IT band, super important for your mobility on your lower legs and lower body. So we'll take a look at all those different poses to stretch these side spaces. You're going to need a couple of things for your practice. I always recommend a blanket underneath just for comfort for your ankles, your feet. I have some bonies, things that just feel better with a blanket underneath. So your choice, optional here. We will need a second blanket, and if you have one, a block. If you don't have a block, you could probably use a pillow. It might work just as well, or you could take a blanket or a towel and roll it up so it can form the same shape. So we're going to take what is called, what I refer to as Cleopatra's Lounge, using our block and blanket. You're going to unroll that blanket a little bit so it's sort of 2/3, so 2/3 bigger and 1/3 smaller. Drape the blanket over it. Yay, Lucy's joining us. Come onto your side, and you're going to take your underarm right over that block. You can rest your head on your hand. You will feel like you were lounging like Cleopatra. You can take the legs out straight, or you can take the knees bent, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Stability's sake here. So what you're going to do is you're going to focus on allowing this left side body to really kind of sink toward the floor. Lucy's going to show you where that is exactly. And you might have to adjust this block a couple of different spaces. Or if you have a rolled up towel, you might want to roll it up a little thicker or skinnier. But just allow this side body to just stretch out. Now, if you feel like you want to just take that hand down, you can, and just rest your ear toward that side. That's going to stretch the side of your neck if you want that. If not, just keep it propped up. And just allow gravity to pull that left side body down toward the floor. So you may not feel a lot is going on here, but you're just very gently tractioning out that left side body. We're going to take about another 4 breaths, and then we're going to change the position just a little bit. So just taking that right hand down, you're going to shift yourself up a little bit higher so that that block is further underneath the underarm and closer to your belly, your waist. And then we're going to take that right arm up and over and just drape it over. Slow your breath down. Allow it to soften. And taking that right arm back alongside the hip. Bring it down to the floor. You're going to switch sides very slowly. Hi. Go ahead and set yourself up so it's right in the center of your underarm. Now some sides will tend to be a little bit more. So for me, this side, I get a lot more stretch in it. It may be because this side needs it more, or it may be something I'm doing. Find your space. Allow that right side body to sort of drift toward the floor. And take some breaths into that right side. So keeping in mind that each part of your body is very different than the other. So if you were to take the front and back, the left and right, we are very asymmetrical. So one side will feel very different than the other. It will also depend on what you do through your day, what your job or your lifestyle is. It also have a lot to do with whether you are right or left-handed. I find that my right side, because I am right-handed, is very precise. My left hand is very strong, so that left side of my body is much stronger than the right. But my right side is a bit tighter, perhaps because it's so precise. You can always close your eyes in your yin practice. Really allow yourself to focus on the sensations, your breath. Just about 3 more deep breaths here, then we're going to change positions. Try to allow your exhale to extend a little bit longer than your inhale. Allow yourself to sink into these poses. Find yourself more grounded, more stable, more in touch with the earth. Time to take that left hand down, press up. You're going to move yourself up a little bit higher so that it's a little bit more toward your hips and your waist. Go ahead and take that left arm up and over and just drape it over. So I finally determined to let Lucy have her own basket. She decided to sit in the basket and then go sit on my blankets anyway. It's what I get for trying to make her happy. Close your eyes, notice your breath. Last deep inhale, fill your lungs all the way up. And exhale, allow that right side body to sink toward the floor. As you exhale, take that left hand alongside the hip. Bring it down in front of you. Slowly start to lift yourself back up. You can take that blanket and block off to the side. We're going to come into half heart melting pose. So half Anahatasana. So you're going to take your hips above your knees, shift back just a little bit because it always seems like you're closer than you are. Walk your hands out. And we're going to take that left hand and cross it. Rest your forehead on your left hand and walk your right hand out a little bit further. So depending on your shoulders, you can walk that right hand out sort of like a Y, which will open more of the upper chest and front side of the shoulders, or more straight out in front of you where it stretches the front side and the side of the body more. Kind of test and feel where you need more stretch. Once again, focus on slowing your breath down, extending your exhale. Maybe after the next few breaths, you can walk those fingers out a little bit further. Know that if you take them out a little further and that just doesn't feel good for you, you always can come back to an earlier stage. Find that perfect spot for you. Gently start to walk your right hand back in. Lift all the way back up. Take a couple of cat-cows here. Maybe rock back and come into child's pose, hands alongside the hips. And then come back up, other side. Once again, hips directly above your knees. Walk your hands out a little bit. Take that right hand, bend the elbow. Palm flat, rest your forehead on the
forearm, taking that left hand out into a Y or straight out and above your head. Breathe in and try to release the muscles. Here again, if you feel like you can reach out a little bit further, you can. 2/3 of your maximum, because you're going to hold it for 2 more minutes. Start to walk that left hand back in. Shift yourself back onto all fours. Once again, cat-cow here. Then go ahead and shift back into that child's pose again, just for 5 breaths. So our next pose is going to be pigeon pose. So go ahead and come onto hands and knees. You're going to take that left knee over to that left wrist. Walk your right leg back. Take a couple of breaths here upright. And then go ahead and lay yourself down. So this pose gets the outside of that TFL and IT band area in the hip. Settle yourself into your breath. Start to bring yourself back up. What we're going to do is we're going to walk our hands way over to the right and come back down onto those elbows again. Little side body stretch here. Release the muscles. Soften your breath. Start to press yourself back up. Walk your hands back to center and just step back into downward facing dog. Walk your dog out a few steps, bending one knee and then the other, shaking your head out yes and no. And then shifting sides, so right knee over to right wrist. Walk that left leg back. Come up for a couple of breaths here. Then slowly lower yourself down. Just about 2 more deep breaths. Start to walk yourself up just a little bit. Walk your hands way over to the left. Really rainbow curve your right side body and bring those elbows back down. If that's okay for you, you can come all the way down to the floor or stay up on palms or fingertips as well here. And take a moment here to recognize or sense which side it is easier to breathe into, your left or your right lungs. Just like we are left-handed and right-handed, we often breathe more into one side of our lungs than we do the other. This is a chance to sense that and try to balance out the breath on both sides. Gently start your press yourself back up to center. Walk those hands back to the middle. Once again, flip those back toes, come back to downward facing dog. Come down onto your knees and come onto your back. So just a little twist to finish off our practice here. Arms out to the side, palms up. You're going to shift your hips over to the right, cross that right leg over the left, and drop those knees over to the left. You can lift your head and turn and look over your right shoulder, or you can look straight up at the ceiling. Gently bring your head back to center. Engage your core. Bring those knees back through the center. Unwind. Take a moment here to take your breath. Feel your spine unfurl, unwind. And then press your feet, shift your hips over to the left. You're going to cross that left leg over the right. Go ahead and drop those knees over to the right. You can lift your head and turn and look over your left shoulder or look straight up. It's ever best for your neck at this point in time. Close your eyes, connect with your breath.
Start to turn your head back to center, engage your core, come back through the middle. Unwind. Let your knees come together, feet apart. Just take some nice breaths into the lungs, left and right equally. You can stay here for Shavasana, or you can stretch your heels out toward the corners of the mat. But just during this time, focus on your breath. Focus on balancing the breath left and right, filling that entire right and left side body. From the knee all the way up through the shoulder. You can stay in Shavasana for as long as you have. If all the time you have is this time right now, you can go ahead and wiggle your fingers and toes. Go ahead and stretch your arms up over your head and lengthen your spine, and then roll over to your right side, taking a couple of breaths on your right side. Whenever you're ready, pressing yourself up into whatever seated position you like best, keeping your eyes closed or open, taking your hands palms up or palms down onto your knees. Bring your hands to your heart. Thank you for sharing this time with me at this Yin AM class. I hope it made you feel better. I hope it stretched the side body for you. Peace and namaste. Thank you so much. I appreciate your spending your time with me here on the mat. If you like this class, please remember to like and comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see more of in classes, or if you have a preference for a certain area or part of the body that you would like to see more emphasis on. Also, if you have not subscribed already, please click the button down below to subscribe. I appreciate every single subscription, every single comment and like that I get. You will get 3 videos a week uploaded Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and check back often for all of those. Have a great day.